Today I'm here with a Trump supporter.
Hello, my name is Amin Salim. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm gonna ask you some question. What do you think is the best thing Trump has done?
I think one of the best things, or one of the things he began to do, is deporting all the legal immigrants. I believe this because even in my own experience in life, I feel as if for especially young adults or people who are trying to get into the workforce with very little experience, they're having trouble finding work because a lot of immigrants, not even just from Mexico or just from any country, period, they were basically allowed to come in through the border, and that made it hard for those people who want to get in the workforce and just want to begin a job, because a lot of jobs they require experience, but it's hard to get experience when the whole entire job is filled up, and then immigrants working for less pay or whatever. So I think one of the good things he's doing is closing that border and deporting all those immigrants, not only Mexican, but just immigrants, period, back to their own countries and back to keeping America safe. Because on top of deporting immigrants back to their own countries, it also will lower the crime rate. Because a lot of these immigrants, they brought over, drugs or guns or whatever they did, and that really can affect the crime rate in our own country. They do bring their own special sets of it, but I think the legal ones should go back home and try to come back here legally.
How does his business and money policy help the economy?
So I believe the business part of the whole Trump thing is that why there's tariffs on China is that he wants everything. He wants America to go back to the times when America relied mostly or a lot on itself. He doesn't want us having to pay a lot of money to get other supplies from other countries, and he wants to keep that here so that America can start making its own things and can start making more money for itself and can come back to just being all about America and not about us traveling to getting stuff from China and China putting tariffs on us, but because we never put really tariffs as bad as other countries. Other countries they put tariffs hard, but America didn't. So now we're finally starting to do that and starting to kick it up.
How has Trump changed the way people talk about politics?
So I find Trump as he's a person that doesn't seem like he would be shut up by those people who maybe be in the curtains or whatever. I think there's a lot of people that when they look at presidents or previous presidents, they have the feeling that in some way, shape, or form they're being controlled or they're being manipulated. And I think how charismatic and how like free Trump speaks, I think people look at Trump and they think him not as a person necessarily like them because he is like a rich billionaire, but someone who they can relate to a little bit more and who they really think is for the people, and they really believe that Trump can like save them, or help them out a lot.
Some people don't like his migrant policy. What do you think?
So again, as I was saying in the first question, I think the immigrant policy is great. I think it can only, benefit the country. I do understand that immigrants do help out a lot for the country, but I don't think that's a good enough excuse to allow them here illegally. They either go through the proper process or they don't come here at all.
How is Trump different from the other president?
Yeah, like I was saying before, he's very charismatic. It very much does feel like he's for the people. He isn't always the best for in terms of public speaking. He's not. I don't think he's the best public speaker. I don't think he's the nicest president there is. But I do think he's one of the most realist presidents, and he really shows that character in all of his speeches and all of his meetups and grand gatherings. I think he really shows that he has the best intentions for America and that he's going to try his hardest through the time that he does have to make America great again.
Uh, okay, this is all I have for you. Thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to say about?
No, I think I've said, most thing. I guess if there was anything I wanted to say, I want to say that Trump is very much misjudged by the public eye. Even myself, when I was in fifth grade or whatever age, I used to hate Trump as a person because I didn't really know Trump. I used to only listen to my family, and I never formed my own perspective or my own opinion on him. So when I actually, looked into Trump and looked into who he was as a person, I realized that he benefited our country actually more than a lot of our previous presidents ever have before in the past. So I think to anyone listening, I think they really need to look into Trump, and they need to really look at not the media side of it or how the media wants him to be perceived, but really look at, okay, media is one thing, but what has he actually done? Because if his work show that he actually has been helping the country, but media says he's a horrible person, and I'm not going to talk about Trump's character. I don't particularly think Trump is like the best person alive or anything. I know he's done some very questionable things, but in terms of helping our country, I think if you really look into that, he's really is one of the best things for this country.
Thank you.